Hello and welcome back for another episode of Tuesday Tips at 2 with the Goldbergs. I'm Sarah Goldberg. Unfortunately, my husband Danny couldn't be here today. He is off fighting another big case out there in court, and all I have to say is go team! And with that, and talking about teams, unfortunately the Astros did not win the World Series this year. We're sad, but we want to thank the team for representing our great city, and cheers to a new year ahead. So with that, I'd like to start off our topic today, which is about what happens if an illegal alien, an individual who doesn't have any immigration status, is stopped for a criminal reason, whether it is for a driving under the influence of alcohol, or what happens if a person is arrested for allegations of domestic violence. Now, we've had a number of you who've been watching our series pose those questions to us about what happens if you're stopped by the cops for that reason. And so we're going to discuss that today. So first off, when someone is going through the criminal process, they're first booked and then they are charged, and then they may be appointed an attorney, which the state pays for, or they can choose to have their own attorney. Now at that point, a number of my clients will say that they just choose to go with an attorney whom they do not need to pay. And I tell them, just be sure there are definitely good attorneys out there and good attorneys that do that, take appointments, but at the same time, it may not always be the best representation. So whoever your attorney is, whether you use someone who is appointed by the state or you hire someone, it's very important to make sure that that person is representing your best interests. And as an immigrant, that's very important because the criminal case has also immigration implications. And not all criminal attorneys know what will result from the criminal case in terms of immigration. I've had clients who have told me, I would have never taken that plea agreement had I known that by signing that document, I could be kicked out of this country and never able to return. And that's exactly what happens. So let's start off with that. After you get booked, you're then going through the process, you hire your attorney. One thing that clients want to do is get bonded out and pay for the bail. They then go and pay for bail, and they then realize, wow, I'm not allowed to leave this jail. Why? When someone doesn't have proper immigration status, there is an ICE hold on them. ICE, Immigration, Customs and Enforcement, we've talked about them before. But basically, when someone lacks proper immigration status and they're arrested, once they're in detention, then the government, our city of Houston, will not release that person and will have them stay in jail until their criminal process is complete. Thereafter, the person will then be sent to immigration detention. So even if someone is offered a possibility to bail out of jail, they may not be able to once the bond is posted because there may be an ICE hold on them. And that is something that many of my clients have expressed to me they had no idea was even a possibility. So then the person will then go through their criminal process. After that is complete, they will then be sent to immigration detention. And in Houston, we have a few locations where that could be. One is located by the Houston Bush Intercontinental Airport. Another one is located in Conroe. And there are others also. They could even be sent from one detention center to another, just depending on where there is capacity to hold that individual. Once a person's put into immigration custody, they then have to go through the deportation process. When people hear deportation, they think it's something that happens overnight, and I must tell you, it does not. Especially when you have proper immigration counsel on your side to help you through that process. And I will tell you that I've had many clients who have a criminal history where they pled guilty to something or did probation, and now they're with me trying to defend their case against deportation. Some of them have been with me for 10 years. So don't ever give up, but always look for good advice, because that advice could be invaluable to you in trying to stay here in the country and trying to fight for yourself and possibly for your family to remain here. So thank you again for joining us for today's Tuesday Tips at 2. And feel free to comment or message us and like us on Facebook. Until next Tuesday.